Yes, that looks perfect.
Hi, I'm Joe Furey, one of the producers and a writer on the show, and I'm here with...
I'm Lou Morton, one of the writers.
Spider. I was post-production on this one.
Al Higgins, one of the writers.
Sam Johnson, writer.
Spider, do you want to say your full name, or just Spider?
From my mom.
Spider Todd Chambers?
Todd Spider.
Okay. Okay. That's the way you preferred. So this is the space episode, one of the weird, crazy episodes we did generally at the end of the seasons. And we were talking about it before, where this kind of started.
Yes, Joe, where did the idea for this episode come from?
Good question, Lou. Lou Morton, thank you.
Yeah, nice job, Lou.
Thanks. Thank you, Al Higgins.
Yeah, there you go.
This actually began, as I recall, the first season of the show when it was
Reisner.
just this Reisner in the background. Oh, this is so insane. But anyway, this all began the first season of the show when it was just Paul and myself and Josh Lieb and Brad Isaacs were the writers on it. For some reason, we started talking about doing the show in outer space. I have no idea
I'm sorry,
why.
this is really
exactly.
funny.
I have no idea why exactly, but so that's kind of the genesis of where this came from. And we endlessly talked about this as a joke, a running joke, even down to those doors right there, opening, closing, how they would, the sound they would make.
It was a post-production field day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time then doing this.
But that's so basically when it came to the end of the season one year, we were trying to come up with something to do, and we said like, let's actually do the space episode idea. So we did it, and we thought this is so nutty, but we ended up doing it. So Spider, tell us what you do on the show. Tell us your title.
You know, I don't even remember. Third season, I think I was like a post-production coordinator maybe, but I was working under Peekaboo Goldstein, Jeff Goldstein, and he was the head of all of this stuff, so I worked under him. And
that would be everything that was, because the reason I'm asking is a lot of this show was done in post-production. It was an enormous amount of this was, right?
That's
all
true.
The special effects and all of the, everything you're seeing, like that, for example.
Right. Exactly.
Nice job, Spider.
Good job on that.
I cannot take full credit. Jeff Goldstein did a big job on this one.
Did he?
And where is he today? Why isn't he here speaking? No comments.
That's
We don't know. We don't know.
confidential.
Okay, that's on a need-to-know basis. All right.
I need to know.
So this was one of the ones that was also written by, we all kind of, well, in general, all the episodes, we all wrote them. But this one in particular, I think was
Gang written.
gang written, because everyone just sort of threw in, funny ideas.
The gang writing, how was, we sort of got together with Paul, and we sort of talked about an outline. There was never there was sort of a general outline, and then each sort of writer or writer team would get sort of like either one or two scenes to go off and write in 2 or 3 hours.
We'd figure out what the story was.
Yeah.
We'd have to sit there and kind of literally go through it and go, this is what, because as dumb as any of the things were, we needed to have some kind of a story in it. So something happening that was moving the thing forward. So once we kind of figured that out,
we would
people would get together and kind of go, okay, Al, you take this scene, Lou, you take this scene, and we kind of just break it up and go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then as you got done, you would hand in a scene to like Josh, and he would sort of put it together.
Yeah,
and then you would
throw
get
it together like a script.
Together like a script, and then you'd go back and get another scene, and sort of like, if you could stay up awake not long enough, you could get to 2 or 3 scenes.
That's right.
Or
it was
fast
just
enough.
a matter of stamina.
Yeah, because this would be taking place at like 4 a.m.
Yes. That's many of our writing sessions.
And then Josh would sort of put it together and clean it up a little bit and give it to Paul, who would then do his final sort of pass through it, and either it was kind of cool to see Paul.
And the result was a delightful 200-page document.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
900-page script, and then everyone on the stage would be furious.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
And this was one of them that no doubt was probably like 11 pages too long or something. But again, this was another example of we would write an enormous amount of jokes knowing that a lot of these just wouldn't work, particularly in an episode like this with so many special effects and stuff. There's just no chance that some of this stuff is going to work, and a lot of it didn't. We had to we would cut, lose a lot of things.
And also, you would write your. It was kind of freeing too, because you knew you would write your scene and just sort of do jokes that you might like yourself, not necessarily that would work on a sitcom, because you knew it would go through the Josh filter and the Paul filter,
right.
And so if they made it through, because then you would put these goofy ass jokes that you just made you laugh that really might not, it was just
which was fun.
Yeah, it was really
which was
fun.
the most fun of doing any of this stuff. Just
Although it
writing
taught
these
me
crazy,
nothing about
crazy
writing
jokes.
for television.
that's
It really
true.
No,
didn't.
it shouldn't have.
It was the worst preparation for
Yeah,
another
it
job.
really was.
Yeah, for a real job. Does anyone remember anything about this set, Robert?
I don't remember.
83 years in the future, and Jimmy is still taking Dave's chair in every scene that
That's
they're
right.
together.
This is incredibly... Oh, yes, Dave's desk is gone, of course, yes, because it's the future.
What happened to that chair? Seems like something someone would want to keep.
I don't know. It's a good question.
There seems to be
By
a lot
which I
of
mean
things here
steel.
that people would want to keep.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I do have that mug. To be honest.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw the uniforms up on eBay.
Oh, did you really? Oh, that's funny.
really?
Who had them to put them on eBay?
I don't
The
know.
studio
Who
might
had
have
the
passed them.
No one knows.
Who ended up selling Paul's lighters on eBay? Who was that?
It was.
I don't know. It's a good question. We don't want to out anybody. So,
At the height of the virtual reality craze.
yes. That's where,
And now, of course, all people watch TV this way.
Yeah.
that's right. This is the future. The idea of the episode originally was just every joke imaginable about bad futuristic things, and I think that's eventually what happened here.
And I love it's just their office with just a few touches of the future.
Right. There's not that much. That was always the joke to begin with, was that even like I was saying from the beginning, we were always saying it should just be the office and not. And just
But
have like
with those
weird,
doors,
a couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
weird doors and like weird, space things, and
It
that's
was the same with the Titanic episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Well, that came from this too, because it was once we did this, it was like, nope, it should always be the same thing, just the exact same office.
And it's a good thing that was the joke, because we had about $4 to do all
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, as you can tell.
I can't wait to see the spacewalk stuff
And then-
later, because I remember it looking really good.
Yeah, some of it did look surprisingly good, and just every other joke was about space this and space that. It was just all lame space references. But
And the Titanic thing came back, because wasn't Paul like a huge queer about
He loved
Titanic?
Titanic.
He
He
loved
loved
Titanic.
He was
He
unashamed.
was totally contrarian about it and would fight anyone who would
Yeah.
who
He
would be
gets
cynical about the
he
movie.
gets his head on things, and he fights it.
And this is Steven looking at Playboy, right?
Space porn.
Futurist space Playboy or something. Everything was space Playboy, space cup, space. Oh, and it spoke, right?
Nice.
So, what else do we remember about this gentleman?
Gaziza, which is a
Gaziza.
callback.
From a previous.
Yeah.
All right. There's
Sam
another,
and
The
Chris wrote
longest
that one.
callback
That's
in
right.
recorded
Yeah.
history.
That's right.
Rocket
That
fuel.
was something that we did quite a lot, where the jokes would, if some joke that we happened to think was funny that no one laughed at.
That 0.0001% of the viewing audience would think is funny.
Rush, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to let Holo Jimmy explain it all right? I see you.
What is he holding here? Is it a film or something in his hand?
I think
What
he
is
puts
that?
it down, and then somebody appears on it or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yes.
The Jimmy disc.
This incredibly good special effect.
Oh,
There it
that's
is.
great.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Star Wars reference.
Right. All kinds of Star Wars references in it. But there was an alarming amount of jokes that were just inside jokes, kind of that ended up being...
That made us laugh.
Gaziza,
And,
yeah, like-
exactly.
I don't even know where Gaziza came from originally, but...
Well,
I can tell you.
Sam can tell
Oh,
you. Yeah.
I hate to interrupt, but this was
Dave's favorite
Dave's
show.
favorite show. So, of
In
course,
real life too, or
in real life, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason it ended up being Green Acres on the.
So Sam, you were saying Gaziza?
I always loved it too, but
Yeah, that was good.
Gaziza came in college when Chris and I were playing foosball a lot, and somebody had like a little brother, volunteered to be a big brother, and so he brought this kid, his little brother, to play foosball, and every time the kid hit the foosball, he would say, "Gaziza, Gaziza,"
that's great.
as hard as he could and as loud as he could.
Hilarious.
I guess the joke in this part too here is Dave and Lisa being in the future, whatever it was, what is it supposed to be, 90 million years in the future, are still not. They haven't figured out their relationship. Wasn't that the joke with this?
Is this
They're still dating.
They're still dating.
Oh,
And they're
yeah,
not
they're
living
arguing
together.
about whether to move in together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're still.
So the idea of this episode was also to do the most stock news radio plots
That's
ever
right, yes.
in space.
But also the most
So
stock.
we're way over budget.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, but that was always the concept. Was the thing that was funny was just do the most basic, boring sitcom stuff and just make it in a completely
Titanic or
stupid.
space. Yeah. This is what I was talking about earlier on another part of it. I love Joe wrote this scene, Joe Furey, and I remember reading it.
Fine, I'll get a space heater.
Yeah.
Big stupid joke that made us all laugh at 5 a.m.
Dumbest joke in
Yeah.
the world. Because we are constantly saying every reference was space
Yeah.
this and your space pod and your space so and so, your space. And I remember I was writing it. I started laughing out loud because I suddenly thought space heater, the dumbest joke in the world. This is another elaborate special effect.
And Vicky's belly button.
Vicky, yes, Vicky looks good. That's a good outfit on her.
It's a little small.
Yeah,
Thank you,
just a
yeah.
tiny bit, but. Tell us more about Gaziza.
Yes.
Where Gaziza came from.
But it was, of course, from an episode also.
Yes, it then
Right.
appeared in the episode where
The rap episode?
Bill was endorsing rocket fuel malt liquor.
Right. Mm-hmm. Up there's Andy's hot girlfriend who was kind of a runner in the show for a little bit.
Boy, did
the
she
network, I
run.
believe, as I recall it, if we could ask someone, but they're not here, was they wanted to sort of have a hot woman because Vicky and Maura apparently weren't hot enough. I don't know, but we brought in this sort of hot girlfriend who became Andy's love interest for about 3 episodes. Or am I remembering that right? Anybody here? No.
Who knows?
I was watching Robert getting offered a chair.
Oh, very exciting.
Yep.
Soylent Green, made from the best
Ah,
Yeah.
Soylent Green.
Yeah. This is great.
This is
Next
my
joke.
favorite
Greatest
joke.
Star
I
Wars
love this.
reference.
I thought it was. That was the now.
It's a
somewhere else.
futuristic cigar he's got there. Very.
Sure. Then I wake up and find out that innocent
Okay, we're
little cat is
watching it
suddenly
again.
making
Sorry.
We're supposed to be talking.
There's some
So
funny
Spider,
jokes
what
in
can
this
you tell
one.
us about? Or Lou, what can you tell us about this? Anything you remember? Anyone?
This is going to take forever. I'm going for a space.
Nothing.
I got
Okay.
nothing.
Nothing.
You got nothing. All right.
Let's see. Space episodes. We did I remember we shot
This is my
something
favorite
in the.
joke here.
Yeah.
What's the that right there? That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's
They're pro.
I
The
love
Death Star reference.
Pro
Empire.
Empire was very great.
Oh right.
I think
Well,
all
that, of course,
nerds
was-
loved this.
That of course was the other reason. Entire reason for this episode was just everyone loves Star Wars. So that
Yeah.
was the other. It was like everyone's obsession with Star Wars was part of it. There it
There
is.
we
Pretty
go.
good. Beautiful. Looks
that does look pretty
fantastic.
good.
If you go outside, be careful, because the outside hatch has been sticking lately.
Yeah. And that was done
Joe,
right on the soundstage.
We were still doing this at 3 a.m., if I remember right.
Yeah, this took
right.
forever.
Phil was
Yeah.
in that harness a long time.
We did these episodes too. The kind of the concept behind them was that it would be fun to do these crazy episodes, but the kind of the irony of it was they were really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
As you can imagine. Like, look at that. Like, you can see Dave and Lisa in it. That's a pretty cool effect.
It's the thing where like you've seen a movie, and like this is the simplest thing in the world and looks like crap.
That's what we just saw.
But
in the,
we had $4.
yeah, there was no budget really, and then
Oh yeah, in the extras you'll see the other side of this, the behind the scenes of this scene.
that's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Didn't
Al
it turn
Higgins.
out great?
Yeah, really looks good. Now, what is the concept? Joe's doing what?
There's
It's like the
big
ship's
alien
gonna-
reference in this, isn't there? Or is
No,
that
that's the other one. No, this
He's
is
trying
That's
to,
the daydream.
yeah, daydream one.
he's
This
trying
is
to
the
fix the reactor.
the reactor is, and what's
This
the
is-
problem? It's gonna break.
It's gonna blow up and kill everybody. It's like
This would be the lame
because this might have
story.
been the last episode in the run of the series. We killed off all the characters at the end.
That's
yeah,
right,
that's
yeah.
what we did every year.
That's
we did it
every
for
because
Titanic. Yeah.
every
right.
season. We've probably said this 100 times on these things, but every season, at the end of the season, we always thought we're not going to be picked up. So we always kind of did a sort of a dumb joke at the end, thinking, well, if we don't get picked up, It'll be funny that everyone dies at the end of it. And then the end of this, the joke was everyone dies, but I think it was Andy and Bill, right?
It was that's what we always did. Everyone dies except Andy and Bill.
And what was great... Well,
in the
they
Titanic
called it back. They called it back. The same joke, repopulating the Earth.
That's right.
You have to,
This was shot right on the Sunset Gower parking lot.
Which looked better than any scene had a
It's
right
unbelievable.
to look.
Uh-huh.
And the inspiration for this I believe came from, we were trying to figure out how we could shoot this, and they were building a parking lot on this lot, Sunset Gower Studios, which used to be like Columbia Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And they had all this dirt there because they were in the process of building it. And someone had the idea of, let's just shoot it right out there on that, right in the parking lot. So it's really funny. Like, our offices are right next door to this.
Yeah.
They're basically facing our offices.
Another show.
The post on that scene was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Well,
show
that makes
that
it work. Yeah.
Another show that shoots at Sunset Gower and often also shoots in the parking lot all the time is 6 Feet Under. Which,
oh, really?
6 Feet Under has done like 15 scenes in the parking lot of Sunset Gower, like exactly where that was.
And that
shot.
studio has been there for about 100 years. In fact, I've seen they used to film the Three Stooges shorts there, and like you can actually see the studio all the time, like with it coming out, like the exterior of the studio.
Yeah.
That's how long that place has been there.
Horrible lunches around that place, though.
Yeah, very bad restaurants, very bad. Not a great area.
All these effects, they look great.
But and the Sunset Gower Studios hasn't changed a bit since then.
Oh my
that was the point I was going to make. It hasn't changed. Still crappy offices.
Speaking of being on the bubble, did you guys talk before about Paul's letter to the Rolling Stone magazine?
Yes, they discussed that in depth yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, it was yesterday? Jesus.
I believe so. Yes, somebody did. Stephen and yeah.
The,
oh yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Oh, this is another good joke.
Yes, cookbook.
Anyone recall what that actress's name is?
That's Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Oh, Bobby Brown. Right. Okay. Thank you.
You told us her name was Bobby Brown earlier in this commentary, didn't you?
Yes.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I did.
Now you're just trying to fill time.
Oh, here's the other joke. Here was the other joke that we thought was really funny too. Is that everyone had these weird suits, and of course Stephen had just his regular suit on, his normal outfit that he wore. Why, I don't know why we thought that was funny, but that was continuing the tradition of making it as mundane as possible.
Did we shoot this episode last, or was it like the one? Did we do it like one before the last one?
I think
or
it was
something?
one before the last
I
one.
think it was.
Yeah, we may have.
What did we
may have
shoot
done
last?
part. We
'Cause
may
that
have
must
done
have been
part of it.
boring.
The last.
We may
That
have
must have
done
really
part
seemed
of this. We
boring.
might have done part of this, and then did another one in between it and finished it or something. I for some reason.
Was it the one with Seinfeld? That was the last one?
Yeah,
Maybe.
might have
We
been.
shot him after the season ended, I think.
After their
everybody-
season was done. Yeah.
Look, I feel bad enough as it is. You don't have to rub it in, all right?
We were all just sitting at this table last night.
That's right.
Oh, was that at Paul's house?
right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
At Paul's house, the
It was
table's
so
still there.
oddly shaped and designed.
Well, it was designed like that because
you could-
there was a much
More
bigger table
perspective,
originally, and Tom Sharonis got tired of not being able to get people in shots, so he said, "We got to do something different with this table. We got to get this table," and that's what happened.
We
with it.
just got a tinier table.
Yeah, well, they cut it and made like that's why it's a really weird angle and
The
a really
wedge
weird.
kept everybody in the clear.
Yeah, exactly. So
Ingenious.
it wasn't really any, just the desk that we found. It was actually cut that way, made specifically.
Is she on a box here? It's very tall.
Before I go to sleep for like 80 years, perhaps never to awake.
That was another thing that never really panned out either. We for the longest time we kind of, I don't know what made me think of this, but Joe and Candy's character, we were trying to always have them like they were interested in each other or something, and it just never worked. We kind of just dropped it out.
Yeah.
We kept trying occasionally, but and here's Andy's,
Joe, the one next to Bobby Brown, is Andy Dick.
Oh yes, right, of course, sure, I remember him.
I'm an android. I don't need oxygen.
Andy was, and everyone was baffled as to why Andy was had this beautiful girlfriend. Was the joke, right? Anybody else, people? Anyone here? Anyone still
thing
here?
that Andy's doing is that.
Anyone here? Hello.
We did that.
There it
did that
is.
a lot.
Okay, that's what I.
All I could think about was you.
Yeah. See, this is part of that story that never went anywhere.
Yeah.
It wound up with Phil and Joe alone in an apartment.
Yes, that's
And
right.
the
At one
girls
point
were
it did.
really, girls were really nude behind those screens. So just so everybody knows.
So let your imaginations run wild. Sam? What the hell's the matter with you?
Hey,
Jeez.
We gotta shut down the power supply.
I don't
this
know
looked
what
like
the... I forget.
soapbox derby.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't know what... I can't remember what the inspiration was for those things, but...
So after the show wrapped, what do you guys do with your hiatuses?
Well, that's going to continue into the
What
next
was that,
DVD
what was
set.
that, summer 1998 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't recall.
I went to Italy, I think.
Okay, make sure you
Right,
remember
right,
that.
right. That's the video.
Keep that clear.
Whatever you do not do that.
I got it.
Of course, why Phil and Andy are the only ones left, I don't know. Why they're not getting in pods, but it's not really explained, I guess. But
Well, I guess it's just you and me, old chum.
Yeah, 50 years. Me and you. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
We sure are.
there once again, here's the Andy relationship where we had Andy secretly sort of in love with Phil. Kind of had him always kind of in love with him.
Expired. Life form 1 expired. Life form 2 expired. Life form 4 expired.
That's, of course, the Macintosh voice.
And then, of course,
Yeah, it is.
Then, of course, that joke stolen from some movie, too, that just unplugging all of it.
Was it?
Was it? It was in like a Zucker Brothers movie.
Was it?
I think, yeah. Wasn't it that same thing?
That totally figures.
Sort of the same joke.
Well, I guess it's up to us to start a new race of human beings.
Not that it hasn't been done probably about 1,000,000 times, but...
But no gay stuff, okay?
I think they were reading each other's lines. That's really weird.
They were?
No, I'm just kidding.
Paul Sims, who's sleeping right now.
Oh, I love this.
That's me.
And there's the crew in the background. That's the actual
I
crew
love
of the
how-
show. And
I love how big that book is.
yes, had to be giant in order to be funny. Big giant book.
Which raises another interesting question. What would NewsRadio be like if all of us were naked? If instead of report... What?
Now we're watching again.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
It's
It's
too.
worth watching.
It's funny stuff. Ida Dick, that was Andy Dick's mother.